Welcome to the show. Ever wonder if the nature you see around you is, well, all there is? Imagine this. Skies so full of passenger pigeons they darken the sun for days. Rivers so choked with salmon you could almost walk across them. Vibrant coral reefs, a riot of color and fish, stretching as far as the eye could see. Sounds like a fantasy, right? For many, it is. But these scenes were once reality. So what happened? That's where something called shifting baseline syndrome, or SBS, comes in. It's a fascinating, and frankly, a little frightening idea about how we perceive our environment. Picture this. Each new generation grows up seeing a slightly more depleted version of nature than the one before it. Fewer birds singing each spring, smaller fish in the net, less insect splatters on your car windshield. And here's the kicker. That diminished state becomes their normal. That's their baseline for what a healthy environment looks like. This slow, almost invisible creep of degradation means we often don't even realize what we've lost. It's like a collective environmental amnesia. The term shifting baseline syndrome was coined back in 1995 by a fisheries scientist named Daniel Pauly. He noticed that with each generation of scientists, the baseline for fish stocks was lower, yet each generation considered their depleted baseline the starting point. It's subtle, isn't it? It's not a sudden oil spill or a massive deforestation event that grabs headlines. It's a quiet erosion, happening bit by bit, year by year. And that's what makes SBS so dangerous. If we don't grasp the true scale of long-term ecological change, how can we possibly set meaningful conservation goals? We might aim to restore an ecosystem to a state that's already a pale imitation of its former glory. We might think we're doing a great job conserving what's left, when in reality we're just managing decline. This leads to what some call conservation complacency. We pat ourselves on the back for maintaining a degraded system because we've forgotten what thriving truly means. So how do we fight this environmental amnesia? One powerful tool is historical ecology. Scientists dig into the past, using old photographs, fishermen's logs, diaries, sediment cores, even genetic analysis, to piece together what ecosystems used to look like. It's not about trying to perfectly recreate some idyllic past. Ecosystems are always changing. But it's about understanding the frenero of what's possible, the sheer abundance and diversity that once existed. This knowledge is vital for setting ambitious, genuinely restorative goals. Think about rewilding projects. Sometimes, species we thought preferred very specific, limited habitats are found to thrive in much wider areas once given the chance. Areas we'd forgotten were part of their historical range because they'd been pushed to the brink. Restoring historical grazing patterns with large herbivores can suddenly unlock incredible biodiversity, revealing a richness we didn't know was missing because our baselines had shifted so far down. The big challenge, then, is connecting this scientific understanding with public perception. If most people are unaware of how much has been lost, will there be support for bold, transformative conservation? Probably not. That's where education and storytelling come in. We need to share these stories, these images, these data points of past ecological states. We need to help recalibrate our collective memory. Interestingly, SBS isn't always about decline. Sometimes, successful conservation can lead to a lifting baseline. Imagine a species making a strong comeback. Someone unfamiliar with its historical abundance might see it as overpopulated, even a nuisance. This just highlights again how crucial historical context is. So what do we do? First, we need more research into historical ecology to establish those more accurate benchmarks. Second, we must get that information out there, to the public, to policymakers. Third, let's encourage older generations to share their memories of past environments. What did the world look like when they were young? And finally, let's get people, especially kids, out into nature. Direct experiences build connection and appreciation, creating stronger, more resilient baselines for the future. Recognizing shifting baseline syndrome is not just an academic exercise. It's about ensuring that our definition of normal doesn't keep silently drifting downwards. It's about understanding our past so we can more clearly see our present and forge more ambitious, more hopeful goals for the future of our planet. It's time to rekindle our sense of wonder for the wild world and remember what thriving truly looks like. Thanks for tuning in.